Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the video. Let us discuss the latest rumors concerning Intel's Broadwell architecture, which is eventually expected to replace the Haswell processors that you can currently buy from the company. So way back in October of last year, Intel fully admitted that they were having issues with the 14nm processor that Broadwell was being built on. And so basically, it was proving tricky to work so small, and they pretty much pushed back the launch window. But those production difficulties were, of course, eventually resolved. Obviously, eventually problems are met with solutions. But since then, DigiTimes have claimed that Intel are actually going to slip past the fourth quarter of this year, and instead we're not going to be seeing until 2015. Meanwhile, Intel are denying it, as you'd expect. They are saying that there are no changes since the company had its earnings calls back in January. But if one was to conduct some analogy, or should I say analysis, of the exact terms and phrases used during this earnings call, it's not exactly super duper clear, because it says we're now planning to begin production this quarter, obviously Q1, with shipments to customers later this year. And because originally expected within Q3, and DigiTimes are claiming at some point during Q4, well, it's still a bit difficult to note exactly when this slip is occurring. Furthermore, DigiTimes are claiming that Intel's shipments are only going to be the U and the Y series models. And in addition to that, most of the processors aren't going to be appearing until 2015. The reason behind this apparently is to give Intel and its customers a chance to pretty much empty out the excess Haswell inventory while it gets to bring out its successor. Obviously, certain processors in the Haswell lineup are certainly more popular than others, and so it does make sense for the Intel to start to clear out the backlog. So, what does this mean for you if you are considering buying a system and you are wondering whether you should just take the plunge? Well, it's a bit tricky to say. If you're expecting to jump on Broadwell, well, you could be waiting theoretically up to about a year. In fact, theoretically, you could be even waiting longer, depending obviously on what happens on the series, whether we're going to be seeing the K derivatives and just how quickly all of these are going to start to filter through. As we know, sometimes, particularly with things such as price gouging, if the parts are a little bit difficult to get hold of, we could even be waiting until they become really kind of mass market and people really can start getting the hands of them with decent quantities at good prices, maybe until like the first quarter of next year, or even maybe slipping back a little bit further. Hopefully not. That's just a little bit of supposition on my part. It's certainly not part of the rumor. Regardless, Intel are certainly having their hands full, but right now things are very tricky in the PC market for competition, simply because, well, AMD are still waiting really to pull something out that gives a really good rivalry to Intel in terms of performance. AMD certainly are rivaling them in terms of the price, and they've certainly got cheaper game machines and cheap multimedia editing processors down. But when it comes to raw performance, Intel CPU still packs a slightly better wallop. So it's a bit difficult in ye old PC land right now to really make a good decision when it comes to this, because as per normal, something better is always around the corner. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.